Welcome back to the channel, it's Andy. We're back with FM23 and IFK Goteborg, and today we're back in European competition. We're in the Europa League, and we have done a couple of bits off camera with the Europa League qualifying. We have got as far as the fourth qualifying round, so we have one tie. If we win it, we'll be through to the Europa League phase. If we lose it, we'll be going down to the Conference League phase. So that's kind of the position that we're in. So we'll go through what happened off camera with the Europa League qualifying. We've had a transfer window as well, which is just closed. So we'll go through some transfer news. We made a big sale, and I'll show you them in just a second. Yeah, but later on today we'll have the first leg of our fourth qualifying round tie, and next episode we'll have the second leg, and we'll also take a look at who we'll be facing in the league phase, as well as how the other Swedish sides have been doing in Europe so far. So that's the rundown for today. If you're enjoying the videos, as always, drop a like, leave comments, and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new, turn notifications on, check out the second channel down below, and let's jump into it. I guess we start with what happened last episode, which was us losing to Malmo for a fifth consecutive time. We lost 2-1 at home. Longstaff and Zaydan scored the goals for them. Markovic got a goal back. Then we won a penalty in the 89th minute, but Markovic missed it. Well, he didn't miss it, but the goalkeeper saved it. So we ended up losing at home by 2-1 and losing to Malmo for the fifth game in a row. We have actually played a grand total of 9 games off camera, including Europa League games. First up was a away game against Degerfors, and we scored within 4 minutes of the second half with a penalty. And then in the 85th minute, we doubled our lead. Markovic with the through ball, and Andrei Kulikov beats the goalkeeper. And it was a 2-0 win away from home, pretty routine win against Degerfors. After that, we had a dominant performance and we thrashed Halmstad at home by 6-0. Olivieri scoring inside 20 minutes to make it 1-0. After 28 minutes, it was 2-0. Olivieri with the assist and Kulikov with the goal. With 3 minutes to go of the first half, we scored a third. Diagno with a header to Olivieri. The ball was saved and Kulikov put in the rebound, 3-0. Just 2 minutes later, it was 4-0. Ziad Larkesh with a thunderous strike on the edge of the 18-yard box. 44 minutes gone, 4-0. After 65.5 minutes, we scored a fifth. Alstrand with the cross. Diagno with a great header onto the underside of the bar and in to make it 5-0. And then after 82 minutes, it was a Super 6. Luis Mena, the youngster, with the assist. Olivieri with the goal, and a big 6-0 win at home there. Then we had our first Europa League game, and in the second qualifying round, we were drawn against Aberdeen of Scotland, and we made it 1-0 in the 63rd minute. Abdullahi chipping the goalkeeper Kelly to make it 1-0. But the Scots did equalise just a few minutes later, Miovski with their header, and the first leg ended 1-1 at home. Not the greatest result there. Aberdeen had just one shot on target. We were the better team, but we just could not put them away. The second leg in Scotland was different though. After 10 minutes, we did make it 1-0 on the night and led 2-1 at an aggregate, and it was Olivieri getting the first goal, the first of 3 goals he got in this game. He got himself a hat-trick. We took a 3-1 aggregate lead in the 36th minute. A great assist by Elias Hagen, and Olivieri scored his second of the game to give us a 3-1 lead on aggregate. And then he completed a first half hat-trick in the 39th minute, and it was at Hausner to Ondrejka, who's back. We'll tell you about him in a minute. Olivieri gets the first half hat-trick. Aberdeen did get a goal at home in the second leg, and it came in the 68th minute from Milner. Not James Milner, he's probably about 60 years old at this point. Aberdeen then gave away a penalty and had a red card as Anthony Stewart was sent off, and in the 73rd minute the resulting penalty was scored by Peñalosa. We won 4-1 away from home and won 5-2 on aggregate. That put us through to the third qualifying round, but before that we had to take on Elfsborg at home, and we took a 1-0 lead after 50 minutes, Olivieri scoring once again. And then in the 64th minute the ball fell to Manas Kuzu as he scored a rare goal to give us a 2-0 win at home against Elfsborg. In the Europa League third qualifying round, we were drawn against Larnakas of Cyprus, and we blew them away from home. First goal came in the 37th minute, Olivieri with the glancing header from Melvin Berg's effort. It was 1-0. And in the second half, we just hit completely differently. 59.5 minutes gone. Abdullahi with a completely unselfish assist for Olivieri to score again. Suleiman Abdullahi did get his own goal after 63.5 minutes. Ondrejka's shot was deflected. It bounced off to the bar. Piric had a nightmare, and Abdullahi just took the gift. Olivieri scored from the spot to get another hat-trick and give us a 4-0 lead after 75 minutes. On 77 minutes, it was 5-0. Olivieri this time turning provider for Millet Diagno. Nice strike again by him. And then in the last minute of normal time, it was Abdullahi getting number 6 and the second goal for him on that night. Goalkeeper had a nightmare, and a 6-0 win in Cyprus. Great result. Before the second leg, we took on Trelleborgs away from home, and this one didn't go too badly. We were again on top and scored in the 28th minute. Abdullahi with the finish. We took a 2-0 lead through Elias Hagen after 51.5 minutes. Berg with the assist in the pouring rain. Trelleborgs did get a goal back after 82 minutes with their one and only shot on target in the game. Igbunakru to Granat, and it was Musialowski with the goal. Again, Pontus Dahlberg, just don't know what he's doing there. He just seems to do that sometimes. We rotated for the second leg against Larnacus. Kevin Tapia played in goal, the 19-year-old. And we took a 1-0 lead in the second leg after 36.5 minutes. Olivieri with yet another goal to make it 7-0 on aggregate. But the Cypriots did get on the score sheet after 52 minutes, and it was Altman with the ball across the face of goal and over Tapia to equalise on the night. But a 7-1 win on aggregate. So we're through to the fourth qualifying round. Our last game on camera was an away game against Vernamo, and it was a game where all three goals came in very quick succession of each other. 17.5 minutes gone in the game. Peñalosa with a great turn and a great strike. Really good solo goal there to give us a 1-0 lead. Lead was doubled from the corner kick in the 21st minute. Kalle Johansson getting the header and getting the goal to make it 2-0. Varberg's got a goal back just a couple of minutes later through Alfonsi, and that's how the game ended. A 2-1 win away from home. So after back-to-back defeats against AIK and Malmö in the Swedish league, we have won every league game since then, so we're back to winning ways there. And in the Europa League, we've been in a really good position. We drew against Aberdeen, but we turned it around in the second leg and won 4-1. We thrashed Larnacus away from home. Didn't have to worry too much about the second leg. So we are through to the Europa League playoff, and we're against Trabzonspor, the Turkish side. And if we win the tie, we'll be through to the Europa League phase. If we lose the tie, we'll be down to the Conference League. We have faced Trabzonspor already this save, and that was back in 2024's Europa Conference League phase. It was October 2024 against Trabzonspor at home, and we won by 4-0. So hopefully we'll get a repeat performance there. Looking at the league table, we are actually leading Malmö by a point. They have actually dropped some points and drawn a couple of games. They drew away against Östers, and they drew 0-0 at home against Hammarby. So we do have a point lead over Malmö, but we do still have to face them away from home. That is the penultimate game of the season, and that could be a real 6-pointer in the title race. But there's 12 games to go, and at the moment we're leading by a point. So hopefully Malmö drops some more points and we continue to win. 16 out of 18 games we've won this season. Not a single draw and just 2 losses. And we've scored the most goals with 47, and we've conceded 15. The only team that have conceded fewer is Malmö. So, transfers. We have signed a bunch more players in this summer transfer window that you can see down here. In terms of first team players, Ondrejka is back on loan from Inter Milan. His loan at Pisa ended. It was only a 6-month loan, so he was available again, and we've got him back in because he's homegrown and he's really good. So Ondrejka is back with us. We also signed Gustav Nilsson, a centre forward who just gives us a bit of an alternative option up top. He's 6'6" with 17 jumping reach and 14 heading and 14 finishing. So having that tall striker could give us that alternative approach. He's only played 1 game so far for us, but he was released by Union in the Belgian league, and he's homegrown. He's 29. He's not too bad. He's just a squad player, but he'll just provide that alternative option if, you know, our centre forwards aren't quite getting what we need from them. Matzier is someone that I think is going to be a huge player going forward. I would like to point out one sale though. Christian Eivind Blikstad, who we signed last year on a free from Vindbjerg, who are a semi-pro Norwegian side, has signed for Borussia Dortmund for £11.75 million. So Blikstad was a sort of centre midfielder, attacking midfielder that we signed for free, and we've just sold him for at least £11 million. Could be more. Potential add-ons, we could be looking at £17 million. They just kept bidding and bidding and bidding and bidding, and I kept rejecting and rejecting, and then eventually it got to this fee, and the board were like, do you know what, we're not turning this down, we're going to accept that bid for you. So the board have accepted this bid for me, but you know what, 11.75 million for an 18-year-old that we signed for free. I'm not going to complain about that. We just got £11 million, maybe more to come. So I'm not complaining at all. With that out of the way, let's jump into the game. First leg against Trabzonspor. It's away from home in Turkey, so it might be a tough one, but we've faced them already this save, and we beat them 4-0 at home, so that's good. I'm just going to do a quick pick and see what it gives us. Peñalosa is not playing centre forward. We're going to go Olivieri, and we're going to go Abdullahi. Is he fit? Is Abdullahi injured? Abdullahi's injured. A couple of weeks with a calf injury. So it's going to be Olivieri pressing forward, Kulikov advance forward. Back four I'm happy with. Hagen and Colander I'm happy with. I'm going to go Ondrejka and Melvin Berg. Okay, I'm not really sure how this is going to go. Our European form has been very inconsistent. We've beaten teams like Lazio in the past in this save. And then we lose to teams like Pagoni and Osijek in the knockout stages. So I don't really know what to expect from this tie. We've beaten them 4-0 before at home. So I'm hoping that we can do the same here and get through to the Europa League phase. Okay, I don't know how this is going to go. There's a lot of empty seats here in Turkey. I don't know which fans are our fans, but, it's okay. I'm not going to focus too much on the crowds. I think we're in that corner there, actually, looking at the blue shirts in the bottom left corner. But let's focus on the game, shall we? Bakasetas coming forward for Trabzonspor. Rakinha's got lots of space here, and we played 4 minutes and Trabzonspor have the first goal in the game. Rosinha gets the goal when he had so much space. Dorokan had a lot of time to pick out his ball, and then Bakasetas with the ball to Rakinha, got away from the defender, great first touch, beats Pontus Dahlberg. Trabzonspor 1-0 up after just 4 minutes, not the start we wanted. And they're coming forward again here. Selke to Rakinha. Dorokan to Selke. And they might be coming through again here. And that effort stung the hands of Pontus Dahlberg. I'm just thinking about instructions. I'm thinking about the drop-off. And I'm thinking about just playing slightly shorter and a slightly lower tempo. Just try and gain a little bit of control in the game. Because at the moment, Trabzonspor are dominating possession and our passing isn't quite good enough. I'm going to drop it off a positive. And I'm going to go a bit more counter-attacking, just play a little bit more cautious. Because Trabzonspor are having a lot of possession at the moment. And we're really not getting forward at all. Here's Abdulkadir. And that's going to... Well, it's on target. Dahlberg couldn't hold it. But Trabzonspor have been far and away on top in this first quarter. And it's Rakinha with the corner kick. And we really haven't got going in this game. Another corner. And this one is headed in by Davy Selke. And it's 2-0 Trabzonspor. That's not how I expected this to go. We need a big second leg if this is how the first leg's going to go. We can't really afford to concede many more goals. It looks like we're going to be going out of the Conference League at this point. Selke with a header. Not really challenged by a defender, and it's not been a good start for us. I'm going to fire up. I'm not going to berate, but I'm going to fire up because we really haven't got going in this game. But Elias Hagen has had a really poor first half. Drake has not really done anything. Defending's been poor. We just haven't really gotten started in this first half, and it's been all Trabzonspor. 63% possession, and their passing's been good. Our passing's improved, but we're just not keeping the ball well, and Trabzonspor have been on top all 45 minutes. We have actually been terrible so far. I'm going to go for a thrash of the arms and you're terrible, sort it out. I'm not going to make any changes just yet, but we really need to think about what we're going to do because we really can't afford to concede any more goals. We've got a second leg to think about here. Do we try and get back into the game or do we limit it to 2-0 and try and overturn it in the second leg? I don't know. We are giving ourselves a really difficult second leg here. This has been one of the worst performances, definitely of the season, but one of the worst in a long time. We really have not got going in this game at all. Here's Eren to Rakinha, who got the assist for the first goal, and he's got space again here. And he's got a couple of shots coming into the box. He's held it up really well. But it's good defending by Dennis Collins. And Nissen with the clearance. Melvin Berg's going to get there first. But he's lost the ball to Serkan. And don't let him get in the cross. You let him get the cross. Oh, and it came off the bar. Dahlberg, I'm not sure if he had that covered or not. Ondrejka is going to make way for Malay Diagna. And Hagen is going to come off for Loftus-Cheek. The centre forwards are going to keep up there. Berg is also going to come off. Peñalosa is going to come on. We really need to try and make some changes here and see what we can do. I mean, looking at our instructions, we're unbalanced at the moment, which is fine. Let's turn off the focus down the flanks. Let's give them a bit more freedom of what to do. If anything, they look like scoring a third because they just have not stopped. They've been relentless in this first leg. And, the more goals they score, the less chances there are of us overturning it and getting through to the second leg. A huge block there by the defender. But you wouldn't think that this was a team that we beat 4-0 a couple of years ago. Not looking at this. This second leg is going to have to be massive if we're going to get through. Here's Durakan. Peñalosa wins the ball there, but that's the end of that highlight. This has just been really poor. Colander is frustrated by feedback. I think we might just have to get him off. Here's Abdul Kadir. And that's in off the post, and that's 3-0. Trabzonspor 3, Göteborg 0. And this is what I mean. Our European form is just all over the place. Like, we've taken some pretty big scalps in European competitions. And then you end up losing 3-0 to Trabzonspor. It's just like, I don't know. And again, even in like in the first and second qualifying rounds, we drew at home to Aberdeen and we drew at home to Larnakas. And then we thrashed them away from home. It's just really strange. This has been all Trabzonspor. They've been all over us. You know, they deserve the first leg win. And, you know, we need a massive second leg if we're going to overturn this. We need a huge second leg. Like, Trabzonspor at this point deserve to go through at our expense, but we just haven't offered anything at all in this first leg. And there might be a chance here, though. Olivieri to Diagna. Are we going to get a late goal here? And maybe... or Markovic. Go on. Markovic might have just given us a lifeline. It's only his third of the season, but it is 3-1. That might give us that little edge, because now the goal margin is just 2. There's no away goals, so if there are away goals, I'll be even happier. But that might have given us just a little glimmer of hope for that second leg. That is full time. It's a 3-1 defeat. Not one of our best days there. Not great at the back. Not great anywhere really. Some really poor performers out there. Draker, Kudakov, Colander, Berg, Hagen, all subbed off, and all, you know, 6.5 was the highest rating from the teams that are subbed off. Diagno got the goal, or the assist for Markovic's goal, but everywhere else was just poor. I'm not happy with the performance. Not happy with the performance at all. That is giving us a huge job to do for the second leg. You know, we didn't turn up to that game for about 89 minutes. You know, the end of the game, I guess maybe Trabzonspor got a bit tired. But yeah, not great from us. We only tried by 2, which is not impossible. But we need a huge performance. Like, we beat them 4-0 a couple of years ago. We need to do that again. So next episode, second leg against Trabzonspor. We'll also see what our fate is in Europe. So if we do overturn this and get through to the Europa League phase, we'll see who we're going to be taking on there. And if we do go out, we'll be dropping to the Europa Conference League. So yeah, not the greatest performance there. And hopefully our other Swedish teams have been doing okay in Europe as well. We'll catch up with them next episode. And we'll see how they've been doing in Europe. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, leave comments and subscribe if you haven't, or if you're new. Turn notifications on. Check out the second channel down below. Next episode, we're going to try and overturn this 3-1 deficit at home against Trabzonspor. We'll also see how the other Swedish sides do in Europe. And we'll go through all those transfers that we've just made in the past summer and see what our new players look like in terms of their ability, or well, their potential more than anything, because they're all teenagers. Hopefully we've got some good ones in there. That South African is going to be really good. I promise you that. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.